So she did all of that. Michael Rainey looked confused. He looked distraught. He looked uncomfortable.
It not being like a double standard where women can file, charges against somebody who violates them. Men should be able to feel the same, that they would be able to do the same thing.
All right. We got the Podfather speaking on the Michael Rainey Jr. situation. As y'all know, he was on a stream the other day, and the streamer's sister ended up grabbing him in a very inappropriate area. Let's see what Joe had to say about it. Like the video and subscribe.
So Michael Rainey from Power, from the Power universe, did some streamers stream. I don't know the guy. No disrespect. I just am not familiar because I'll be 40. How old am I?
You're 44.
Don't remember. Don't do that.
She ran that off quick.
Yeah, I didn't like that. 44 in August. Thank you.
He's grown and sexy. Come on.
Yeah, no, the lady gonna put I told y'all the cream, the aging cream.
The anti-aging cream?
Yeah. I would do it.
Thing.
I would do it.
Okay, good.
Fuck y'all. Anyway, so Michael Rainey did a streamer stream. It was kids there. It was other young men there. And the streamer's younger sister just popped in and started
groping him,
fondling him. It was a long time.
It was.
It certainly wasn't. It wasn't quick by any means. In front of the kids.
In front of everybody.
In front of everybody.
In front of everybody.
From the world.
That's it.
But to do it in front of kids just displays to do it, period. Y'all are right. In front of people displays a different level of either arrogance, ignorance, boldness. But the kids is there having a good old time. They chilling. You're doing it right behind the kid's head. But anyway, so she did all of that. Michael Rainey looked confused. He looked distraught. He looked uncomfortable. He put two hands over his crotch. You guys know the shit you do when there's a chick that keep trying to grab at your dick. And then the stream abruptly ended, and he left about 20 minutes later.
He should press charges, honestly. I mean, I know we have this conversation about, men don't feel like they're in a position to do such, press charges and stuff like that, but that shit was violating. It was gross to watch, to observe, and the apology was whack. Why is she not apologizing, first of all? Why is he apologizing?
Because who the fuck is she? And what does she have to lose? What does her apology mean to anybody? The brother is the one, it was his platform, it's his stream. He's clearly got some motion and some movement. He's the one with the shit to lose.
I understand that.
She still should apologize too.
I agree.
And maybe he should have pulled her on the stream, since he was apologizing on her behalf, pulled her there, forced her to give an explanation and an apology at the time. But that shit was gross. Really uncomfortable to see.
I'll read Michael Rainey's shit that he put out. His statement, he said, "At this point, everyone has seen the video circulating online. I'm still in shock and don't fully know how to process what happened last night. This is an unfortunate situation that I do not condone in any way. I can't take it lightly because I know I would be in serious trouble if the roles were reversed. The fact is, sexual assault is never okay regardless of gender or status. We're all human. We should all respect each other. Most importantly, we should always respect ourselves." Well said, Michael Rainey. And I agree.
That's a wild move. Just go
She just
and grab the
right
meat on camera.
And it happens though.
It does. No, it does.
It happens.
When you guys saw that, was that like in any way, shape, or form triggering to any of your own experiences?
No, I'm not gonna say triggering.
Okay.
I've been there before, but it didn't trigger and make me like, it's just,
well,
niggas know.
Yeah, 2 pods ago, you expressed that you've been walking through clubs and women have grabbed your ass and grabbed your dick.
Everybody in here.
Yeah.
And
yes.
So do you find it offensive?
Nah, I mean, to be totally honest, it's normal. Like
normal.
That's not irregular for us.
So you feel like that behavior is normal?
What I'm saying is,
I think that, see, this is the thing. Whenever this kind of situation happens to a man, the conversation devolves into, well, he can't do anything about it because, society doesn't really give a fuck about men like that. But it takes pursuing action and to have conversations like this to normalize it not being like a double standard where women can file, charges against somebody who violates them. Men should be able to feel the same, that they would be able to do the same thing.
Bro, all of that stuff is theoretical, right? It all sounds good in theory. I don't know a man that's gonna go say, yo, she grabbed my butt, I want her kicked out the club and I want to press charges. If a girl grabs your ass in the club, if a girl grabs your dick in the club, we keep it pushing. Again, we're not gonna stop time to be like, yo, kick her out, I want her gone. That's just something that we gotta deal with. There are double standards that are in men's favor, and there are some double standards that are not in your favor, and you just move through life accordingly based on those.
All right, so that was the more serious part of this conversation. After that, they started talking about Melissa Ford and some of the hugs she's given out to some of the guests over the years. And I just wanted to keep it more on the serious part of this conversation. So that was the clip. Make sure y'all check out Joe Budden's podcast on Spotify and YouTube and everywhere podcasts can be listened to. Now, here's my take. First off, I want to thank Melissa Ford for saying, hey, if women feel the right to go to the police and press charges when they're put in a similar situation as Michael Rainey Jr., men should feel the same way. They should feel like if a woman touches them inappropriately, they can go to the police, they can get a lawyer, they can press charges. But unfortunately, in society, especially amongst men, and we can talk about the double standard later on, but we just know some men. And don't get it twisted what people are saying on podcasts and on YouTube trying to be politically correct. We know what men are capable of in the streets, in that barbershop conversation. Some men look down upon a man telling on a female in any type of situation. Whether it's a situation where she touched you, she vandalized your property, she putting hands on you. Some men, they just have this stance, don't tell on no female. And that's fine. I think it goes over the line if you look at a situation like this, especially with Michael Rainey Jr., and you say, oh, he's soft for telling. No. He's put in a position that I don't think a lot of people understand, because I was talking to somebody, I've talked to multiple people about this, and I'm like, yo, Drake has probably been in this situation, Usher, Chris Brown, any of these celebrities that women like, when they meet them, they get a little handsy. I told y'all, this happened to DaBaby the other day. He was at the gas station, and this girl just walked up and grabbed him. Nobody really talked about it. I think Michael Rainey has an opportunity to kind of set an example of this girl, so some of these people out here can think twice before they walk up to their favorite celebrity and start touching them inappropriately. And I think that's the position he's in, and I think that's why he's going to, take this to the next level. Now, if nothing comes of it, that's fine. I'm still not clear on that girl's age, but I'm hearing that she's an adult. She's younger than the streamer who was Tylil, but I heard that she was an adult. But then I also heard some people say she was older than Tylil, so I don't know how old she was, but she was on that stream talking about some raunchy stuff. I saw her mention a banana at one time. So I'm assuming she's an adult, and she looked like she was a little intoxicated as well. But as Joe pointed out, you saw a lot of people saying, why shouldn't she apologize? But Tylil is the streamer. That was the streamer. His name is Tylil. He's cool with Kai Cenat. Y'all know about Kai Cenat, the big streamer, the kid doing all those numbers. Tylil was his friend, so some of that clout has trickled down to Tylil, and so he's moving and popping. Obviously, he got Michael Rainey Jr. there. He got the Instagram model Chinese Kitty there, or should I say Instagram's model / rapper Chinese Kitty was there, so he's lit. And when you put in that situation, you got to make sure you protecting these celebrities. And so I think that's why he felt like he had to apologize, and we don't know the mindset of his sister. Maybe she felt like she wasn't in the wrong. Maybe he felt like, her apology wouldn't have come off right. Because sometimes, people not used to being in the spotlight, their apology could be horrible. So maybe that's why she didn't apologize, but I understand why Tylil went along and, he was the one to make that apology. But like I said, for Michael Rainey, he can set an example of this girl so it doesn't happen in the future. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. Also, let's talk about the double standard. And you heard Ish say this. He said, hey, I don't know any men that go to the club, they get groped on, and they're going to tell somebody to kick that girl out of the club. Because women do get away with stuff, and I guess it's based on what man you dealing with. Because I hear a lot of men say, if that was me, if I was Michael Rainey Jr. and that girl did that, I would have bopped her. I would have put hands on her. And that's a whole nother conversation we can have. Are you within your rights to do that if a girl touches you in that way? I don't think so. It's not something I would do because I've been in that situation multiple times and I didn't think to myself, oh, let me, hit this girl, push her or anything like that. So that is something women need to be mindful of. You can run into the wrong got a right guy and they might put hands on you for that type of behavior. And we see that a lot with women. You playing too much with the wrong nigga and then you end up in a situation where, he done did something. And fellas, if you ask me, it's not worth you going to jail because somebody grabbed on you. You should have a little more restraint. That's not saying a woman is right, but I'm just saying, especially for African-American males out there, even if you feel like you within your right, my nigga, you going to jail if police get involved. Sometimes police might not get involved, but I just think it's safe to just be like, let it go. But I see a lot of men saying that on YouTube. Or if it was me, I would have bopped her. That's why I said it depends what man you dealing with, but it's some men who take that as a compliment. It's some men, they look at you strange if you don't like it. And that's why I said this conversation is so nuanced. I could sit here and ramble and give y'all 50,000 scenarios, but it all leads back to the double standard in this case where females get a little touchy, it's in their favor. Because if a man was doing that like Michael Rainey Jr. said, he would have to most likely face the full consequences, especially for a black man in his position. Let's say if he was doing that to that girl on that video, even if the girl was okay with it, if people in society saw him doing that, they would probably be trying to cancel him. They would probably be trying to get that girl to press charges. And so, yes, there are double standards. I think it's something that we just have to accept in life, and it just is what it is. And look, we could really have a deep conversation about this, but I know I've been chatting a lot so far, so let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Hey, nigga, donate. Hit the super chat. Scan the PayPal. Hit the Cash App. Thank you. Have a blessed day.